Mic check, mic check. What's going on, world? You already know it's your boy SB, and I'd like to welcome you back to another episode of the Sauce Files. As always, I hope you're doing what you got to do to get to where you got to be. I'm praying that you had a great weekend, and I hope you had a chance to get some much-needed R&R, and you're ready for another productive week. You know, it seems that anytime that you mention this Monday to somebody, they get up in arms about how much they hate Mondays. But my question has always been why? You get another chance to get closer to your dreams, but you're complaining about it? It makes no sense to me. But I hope by the time we finish this conversation, you consider changing the significance of Mondays. Today's quote comes from the actor Michael Ealy, and it reads, I know it's Monday, but it's also a new day, a new week, and in that lies a new opportunity for something special to happen. I talked about this in previous episodes of the podcast, but it's important that we don't look over the blessings that are bestowed upon us when we open our eyes every morning. Mondays are extremely important because they set the tone for the rest of the week. Most people don't start their week until Tuesday and clock out mentally on Thursday to prepare for the weekend. But successful people take every waking moment with a certain angle of gratitude that is often overlooked by the common man. The thing with starting your week off on a positive note is you're opening your mind to the possibilities of what could happen throughout the course of the week. By giving yourself permission to use your imagination to kick off the week is the greatest way to find the solutions to your problems. Yes, some problems are extremely important and they rank high on your priority list. However, if it's out of your control, positive thoughts can help you swing the pendulum in your favor. I believe in starting the week off with positive words of encouragement because you never know what's in store later on down the line. You know, if you've been following me on social media, you know that when we started 2025, I released my third book titled The Power of Belief. After sending out 50 to 75 emails a night, I went to bed every night with the expectation of some good news at some point during the next day. That might have been the ultimate cheat code because this year has been absolutely outstanding in the aspect of having a successful book rollout. It's also helped me manage my stress on my toughest days. But regardless of how the week goes, on Monday, I try to speak as highly as possible and I see the favor of God over my life throughout the course of the week. You've heard this a million times, and I'm going to tell it to you again. There is life and death in the tongue. That's why we spell our words, because we're actually using our inner magic to create what's happening next. As we prepare to kick off this new week, let's take control of it before it starts by using our imagination to raise our frequency. When you take full advantage of starting the week off on a positive note, it helps you achieve your daily missions, puts you in alignment with the right people to help you reach your goals, and it's helping you lay the foundation for succeeding in your mission. The fact that you are fortunate enough to wake up this morning is more than enough proof that you are deserving of your goals and desires. Most people will tell you to be realistic about setting your goals, but I believe in swinging for the fences. I believe in having unwavering faith in the unseen and having the angels whisper your names in the room that the people around you don't believe you belong in. I believe that great things can happen if you set the bar high for the week. And I'll give you a prime example of that. When I launched this book, I wanted to host book signings. But what I didn't know is that I wouldn't be able to do that through Amazon KDP because their books are print on demand. I'm not going to get into the technicalities of it, but most bookstores won't do your book signing if it's print on demand. They got to go through a distributor. And we'll talk about that breakdown in my YouTube videos. But I needed to go through a distributor. But everywhere online was saying that it was at least a 4-figure job to do so. And I'm not sure if I disclose this with y'all, but we homies now, so I can tell you. I started this whole campaign for free. I started my podcast for free. I run 2 e-commerce stores, The Spot and The Sauce Factory. I started both of those free. I uploaded my book on Amazon KDP for free. And I uploaded my book on Ingram Spark. That's my distributor. And I uploaded that for free. But I found out about Ingram Spark because I had emailed Georgia Tech to see if they would order, a couple of copies, to be in their bookstore or whatever. And as I was talking to the store manager, he told me like, "Hey man, we can't do the print on demand because we got to go through a distributor. So you should look up Ingram Spark." And I submitted my book through Ingram Spark, and I didn't hear nothing back for at least 3 months. And 3 months later, he emailed me and said he saw my book via Ingram Spark, and he ordered a few copies to the store. And that was my first big order of books came from Georgia Tech. But the real magic happened the night before he hit me up. Because before I went to sleep, I said, I'm expecting good news about my book tomorrow. And literally the next morning around 9:30, I got confirmation that Georgia Tech had ordered my book. The same happened with Yale, the University of North Carolina Wilmington, and organizing my book signings as well. I went to sleep the night before using the power of my imagination. The opportunities were coming my way, and it's led me to my first high selling product since I started this journey 10 years ago. All that to say this: you owe it to yourself to start today off expecting great news to happen. Even if it doesn't happen, there's always tomorrow. But the fact that you are willing to open your minds to the possibility, God will always provide and will make a way for you throughout the week. So listen, take advantage of today. If you're one of those people that hate Mondays, learn to embrace the opportunity to create and receive the gift that you're looking for. The powers that govern your life work in mysterious ways, and when you can train your mind to see the winds you shall receive. As you prepare to conquer this new week, repeat these affirmations and welcome the chance to put in the work. I choose to focus on positivity. I am grateful for the opportunities coming my way on this Monday. I can achieve great things today and every day. And lastly, I can achieve my goals and my dreams. If you start your morning off with those words of encouragement, watch how the stars align in your favor. So, with that being said, that concludes today's episode of the Sauce Files. I pray something was said that inspires you to seek opportunities in this Monday and to take advantage of the moment by doing what's necessary. As the old saying goes, start by doing what's necessary, then what's possible, and watch the impossible happen. So, in closing, as always, I appreciate y'all spending some time with your boy. I appreciate y'all locking in. I did record this episode earlier, but there's a frog in my backyard somewhere, and that's usually where I record because my kids sleep in the next room. So I got to be quiet because, kids, they be trying to be nosy. But I had the frog in the background, and I really didn't like that this dude was making all this noise in the back. So I had to come out in the front and record it. But as always, like I said, thank you for spending some time with your boy. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. Make sure you check out SauceBradyBooks.com. If you're in Sandy Springs, Georgia, I will be at Phoenix and Dragon Bookstore on July 26th for the 4th stop on the Power of Belief book signing tour. So come out and grab your copy. Come chop it up with your boy. If you find it in your heart to buy the book now, bring it with you to the book signing, and we'll still chop it up, and I'll sign it for you as well. And as always, man, get lifted, stay inspired. It's your boy. Peace.